Hey guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe and hit all the notifications so you're the first to get MD Global Muscle and all the exclusive content on muscular development. And we are in. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined Brooke Walker.
Hello!
Brooke! Brooke, where do I start? Where do I start? Where do I start? No, seriously, where do I start?
I don't know.
Okay, Brooke. Okay, right. For the sake of the viewers, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna say, like, you know, it was, what is it, a year or two ago? I was, even before you even won your pro show, I said, look, I think this lady Brooke Walker, I said, I think she's got the shape, the X frame, the kind of the genetics to really be top 5 Olympia within. Well, I kind of had in my head a couple of years. But, you know, you went to you finally got your first pro win. You nailed your condition that you really kind of maybe lacked in shows previously. And then you got top 3 at the Olympia.
I'm still in shock. I cannot even believe it. It's been an indescribable year for sure.
Because, I mean, the last time we spoke, you'd gone to your aunt's in Florida, hadn't you?
Yes, yeah. So I took that last 5-week period. I took off to Florida and St. Petersburg. I have family there, luckily. And I just focused and kind of went tunnel vision for the Olympia. And I think, to be honest, that truly benefited me. It helped me. I eliminated just daily stressors. I took those out of the equation. And I think that kind of helped me bring in my conditioning and really nail the look that I brought to the Olympia this year.
So, I mean, talking with the pro win you got, so you had your normal lifestyle when you were prepping for that show?
Yes, I did. You know, and I know we've kind of discussed this before. I work long days, long hours, and it's always my own doing, but I do get stressed out. And I've always been kind of the person that will bite off more than they can chew. I've been that way since I was a kid, you know, but I really knew going into the Olympia this year, I couldn't do that. And it was the one time that I truly had to completely focus on myself and what I was doing in order to be in my best version. And so I did that. So I was in a way, but I knew that in order to be successful, I needed to do that. And luckily I just have a job and a career and tons of clients that understood that. And to be honest, they all encouraged me to go and take that time needed in order to be competitive at the Olympia.
So do you think that that approach is something you have to do every single time now, or just for the big ones, or?
Yeah, you know, I think I'm going to use that approach for the Olympia for sure, because, you know, the Olympia at that level, there's no room for error. You know, every girl that's competing that weekend is looking to bring their complete best package. You know, you are trying to be competitive against the best in the world. Whereas I'm not saying that you want to have slip ups along these qualifiers along the way, but there is some room for error at those. I would rather maybe not be at my best at those shows versus mess up at the Olympia, you know? Yeah. So there's a lot more I think at the Olympia. So I kind of have it in my mind that I do want to leave, maybe not as long, maybe not 5 weeks, but maybe 2 weeks prior, or maybe even 3 weeks, and head out a little bit earlier. That way I can kind of take out any stresses that I have at that given moment and just finish my prep strong at that point.
So doing that approach, was it just your conditioning you feel it helped, or were there other elements of your physique that it helped?
You know, I think other elements, it was kind of crazy. I think, like I was saying, just daily stressors of things that I do on a regular basis that I'm not even considered to be stressed out. But once I eliminated them, it was nuts, because I was in Florida and I was waking up better and better every day. It was crazy. But just from a physique standpoint, a mental standpoint, I was in my element. I was in my zone. And you know, those last few weeks of a prep are always so brutal. And to be honest, it wasn't brutal for me going into the Olympia. I was so energetic. I was so excited. And I truly, truly felt like I was just ready and eager to step on stage. You know, and I was exhausted, but it was just a different kind of mentality that I had going into the Olympia. And even being backstage at the Olympia, I was like truly in my zone. I mean, I was like full of energy, happy to be, you know what I mean? So I soaked up every moment there that weekend. And I, to be honest, I can't wait to do it all over again, because it was one of the most incredible moments of my life.
So, I mean, obviously, that's the question I want to ask next, really, is what was that like, your first Olympia? Was it everything you expected?
It was everything I expected and more. It was an honor just to have been able to grace that stage finally.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I struggled to really nail that conditioning and bring just like that great package in order to get my qualification. So to finally have that opportunity to step on stage and say, I am one of the best in the world, was that in itself was huge for me. And it was, like I said, it was just a huge honor. But from the minute I arrived in Orlando, it was like I was on cloud nine. I mean, just to be in that kind of energy with tons of people that are just like-minded, it was great. And the camaraderie there was amazing in itself too. Everybody was super supportive of one another, and that was just, it was amazing. It truly, I cannot say enough good things about that weekend.
You were first call out.
Yes.
Oh, so that's when you think, okay, shit, I might be, I mean, what is it, 5 or 6 they called out in the first call out for that one?
Yeah, I think there was 6 of us in that first call out.
See, yeah.
And at that point, you know, I'm just like, my number, well, I don't know what my number was, but anyways, I'm like sitting, I was 6, it was number 6, I don't know, but I'm waiting. I'm like, oh my gosh, say 16, say 16, say 16. And when they did, I felt so good, you know. That in itself was a huge win again, you know, and it just, the weekend kept getting better and better. I felt great. I had a great amount of people that were there to show their support for me. So to hear them screaming for me in the crowd was amazing. You know, and I had competed against Natalia before, so I kind of knew what it felt like to stand next to her. But in Sarah, I had never competed with her before. So, you know, sometimes you think you're really good until you're standing next to somebody that's better than you. You know what I mean? Then you can kind of really see where you're flawed. But I felt really great having the opportunity to stand next to Sarah and see where I stood with her, you know. That was just, it was great. The only thing I can tell you that was negative about the weekend was that it just went by too quick, you know.
Yeah. So you're in first call out. Were they moving you around, and then you're thinking, because at one point you're thinking, okay, top 6, and then you're thinking, oh shit, maybe top 5. And did you at any point think, oh my God, there's a potential here, I could make top 3 by how they were moving you?
You know, okay, so at prejudging, whenever they brought us out for that first call out, I didn't really know where I stood, right? Because they're kind of moving us around a little bit. And I didn't really know where I was on stage. I kind of thought maybe I was like in that 4th or 5th place spot, but I wasn't sure. So then when they called us back out for a confirmation, they brought 4 of us out, you know? And so at that point, I'm like, are you kidding? I could be top 4, you know? And so Barbara, she ended up getting that 4th place, and she looked amazing. And there was a part of me that thought I could be anywhere from basically like 2nd to 4th place. I just didn't know. But as soon as I got done with prejudging, I was like, I need to get in my hotel and I need to nail this and make sure that I come in better for finals and just make sure that I don't come in worse at finals. So as soon as prejudging was over, I went right back to my hotel room, got off my feet, and just, to be honest, I like manifested everything and just prayed and went over my routine over and over again and visualized me being in that top 3. That's what I wanted. My goal was top 5 at my first Olympia, which I knew was a huge, like, you know, huge goal. But when I saw that I could be top 3, I was like, I will feel like I won. And I do. I feel like I won. Top 3 was huge for me.
Yeah. I mean, thing is, your condition was good, but you weren't drawn in the face. You know, you looked good. You had good energy. I was watching. You know, it's like, to get that combination of, you know, it's like we spoke before about how you approach your prep and you do it your way, and you don't want to sort of go down those paths and stuff. So to see someone that nailed their condition and looks good and looks healthy and kind of looks kind of good for the category must have been quite a good feeling.
You know, that was a great feeling for me. I feel like at a lot of shows, smaller qualifiers for the Olympia, I've kind of been maybe like considered the people's champ, and I'm honored and privileged to have that label. But at the Olympia, it was kind of neat to get the feedback that I got from people, and it was, you know, fans of the sport, obviously, people that I'm competing alongside with, and they're kind of giving me that similar feedback, you know, that we're keeping the sport beautiful. And I look at, and that's something that obviously is huge for me. So to be able to have brought that to the Olympia and that show of that caliber and to have done well, I think it's, you know, it's really hopeful for maybe a lot of up and comers that are in the sport that have had like, you know, maybe some concerns about where the division could be going.
Yeah.
But that is always my goal, to bring, you know, a good balanced physique in all aspects. And I'm saying from everything, your suit, your hair, your makeup, your posing, and obviously your physique. So that's always something that I want to make sure that I nail on all ends. And I think that the Olympia, I nailed it. I obviously have room for improvement for sure. And I want to make some more improvements, you know, going into next season, but I was very, very pleased with the look that I brought.
And of course you qualified for next year as well.
Yeah, you know,
fantastic.
That's huge for me, because I always struggled to even get my qualification. And like this year, especially, you know, I died all year, you know, and I was able to come in better and better each show. And that was amazing. And I'm so happy that I was able to do that. But I'm really excited that I don't have to worry about qualifying. So now I feel like I can really put some emphasis on some areas that I'd like to improve on. Because going into the Olympia, you know, I think I had like 8 weeks between my pro win and to the Olympia. So in order to kind of put on some like muscle thickness in my back, my upper back is kind of the feedback I get. And obviously my conditioning, I knew I wouldn't really be able to put on a substantial amount of muscle in 8 weeks. So I kind of focused on conditioning, which was something that I could control, you know. But going into next season, I think that I will be able to put a little bit more width and thickness in my upper back. So that's going to be my goal. So we'll see how it goes. And I think having ample amount of time to put in that in an off season will really benefit me going into next year's Olympia.
What's the situation with the Arnold Classic in March? Are they doing women's physique? I haven't checked.
No, they're not.
Oh, because I thought you could go in and get an Arnold win, you know?
I know, you know, and I'm really just kind of upset about that. It's really a bummer, you know, and they're not offering women's bodybuilding, women's physique, or men's 212, and you know that is kind of a shame, because you look at the two most elite shows in the world, and the Arnold Classic and the Olympia, those two. So to me, I feel like all divisions should be honored at the pro level. You bust your butt to make it on the pro stage, and then to kind of almost, you know, and I'm not saying that we're not good enough, but it almost makes you feel like that. Like, are we not good enough to be on stage, you know? So it is a bit of a bummer, but I'm hoping that they'll bring it back in 2023 and maybe be able to roll in from the Olympia next year and roll right into the Arnold. So I'm staying hopeful and optimistic that they'll bring it back at some point, because I would love to step on that Arnold stage.
Yep. As I know, I hyped you, what was it, last year or 2 years ago? I can't remember now. For top 5 Olympia, you made top 3. I'm going to go out on a limb now and say that you could win the Olympia next year.
Oh my gosh. You know, I think it's possible. I truly do.
I do.
I'm not one to be like arrogant or conceited by any means, but I feel like from the front, I felt like I was super, super competitive in all aspects, all poses. And I think from behind is where I struggled.
Yeah.
But I think that now I'll have an opportunity to improve in those areas. So I think next year will be phenomenal, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, I think not only will Natalia and Sarah be bringing their best packages, but I think there's probably going to be a lot of other girls that are going to try to step up their game as well. And I'm just looking forward to the opportunity of having a true off season. And I would love to get that crown next year, you know? So I think it's definitely possible, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I improve on the areas that need improvement.
And not only do you don't have to worry about qualifying, you know, and getting a win or trying to get enough points to get to the Olympia, you've also got 13 months from now to make those improvements in your back and in those areas that you want to improve, so you can come in and literally be a threat for the title.
Yes. And that's, you know, I'm sitting here and I might be like a little superstitious or whatever, but I'm like, I feel like it's a blessing in disguise for me, because like I said, I've always struggled to get qualified. Now I have time. I have time to build. And when it comes to like building muscle, that's what you need, is you need time, you know? And so now I can be a little bit patient and focus on that growth and development in the right areas and truly blow the package that I brought this year out of the water, you know, next season. And I truly plan to do that. And I really feel confident that I'll be able to do that. So I'm just going to try to manifest that victory and stay focused and make sure that next December, the Brooke Walker that steps on stage there is the best Brooke Walker, and hopefully I'll be the best person on the stage that day too.
Seriously, to see, I mean, we love seeing new faces cracking top 5s and top 3s and new faces coming straight in, but it was a real highlight seeing, you know, someone like yourself coming in and just going straight into top 3, you know? It's like you said, you've only had 1 pro win. It wasn't like you came in with 6 pro wins and you jumped in and got 3rd. It's like you had 1 pro win, flew straight in and got a 3rd place at the Olympia. I mean, that's a huge achievement.
It is. It's huge. And, you know, I think going into the Olympia, when I said that my goal was top 5, I knew that was a huge, huge goal. And I think obviously some people, when I told them top 5 was my goal, I think some people obviously were like, oh, well, that's kind of ballsy. It's your first Olympia. But I felt confident, you know, and I do know I've struggled for years and years to get that qualification. And I've often kind of asked myself, should I be competing? Am I truly good enough? You know? And I feel like this year it was just destiny for me to finally step on the Olympia stage. Because in years past, I feel like I was maybe good enough to have stepped on that stage, but I probably wasn't good enough to maybe crack the top 5 at that point, you know? Yeah. So to go on and step on stage here, I think it was well worth the wait, I'll say, to have made it my first Olympia, not crack the top 5, but crack the top 3. So I'm still on cloud 9. I mean, every day I just wake up and I'm like, I can't even, you know, so I'm so motivated going into this next season. And I truly can't wait. When I tell you that it was one of the most incredible experiences of my entire life, it truly was. And whenever I was on stage, I was in my zone. It just felt good, you know? And I can't even wait for next season. This is how excited I am. I'm already working on my routine for next year.
The post routine. Wow, that's keen. That's really keen. Fantastic. Oh, well, like I said, I wanted to get you on because it's just, I was just blown away. It was, like I said, I've been hyping you and stuff, but I just did, when someone exceeds, how often do you see in the industry when someone actually exceeds, when you go out on a limb, and like, you know, not go out on a limb because I could see her potential, but I thought, okay, this is a couple of years in front, you know, she's got the potential to get there, and you kind of did it in a much shorter space of time, you know? So it's really exciting for the industry to see stuff like that, you know, because it proves that, you know, anyone can come in and do well from the outset, you know? It's great.
Yeah, you know, and that's always my goal too. I want to be a great ambassador for the sport. So to show others, you know, men and women, that you can come up and, you know, just because you're like a newbie, I guess, to the stage, or, you know, a rookie, that was my first time to be on the Olympia stage, doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be competitive, you know? Yeah. So I'm truly honored and fortunate and blessed, and I am so ready to do it again, but I need time to improve. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing that the whole thing went so well, and I had to get you back on to kind of congratulate you face to face. But yeah, Brooke, honestly, I think you're my pick for the Olympia next year. Seriously, for the win.
Thank you. I hope you're right.
Well, I'm usually right. I'm usually right. I've got a pretty good track record, so I'm gonna bet on Brooke.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, Brooke, I'm going to let you go, and also have a wonderful Christmas, you and your family and your blokey, and have like I said, just really enjoy it, but and keep working on that routine, and then like I said, we'll see what 2022 brings.
I know. It's going to be the best. It's going to be the best version of myself, I promise.
Cool. All right then, Brooke. Thank you so much for coming on once again, and I'll speak to you very soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Brooke. Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the RSM studio with me, your host, Giles Thompson. I'm joined all the way from, completely forgotten, Samson Dauda, Milos Sarcev.
Hey, what's you doing?
Take two.
Greatest announcer of all time. All right.
Guys, well, I wanted to get you on, firstly, to congratulate the both of you for what you achieved in Prague last weekend. How'd you feel, guys? How'd you feel about this huge victory?
I feel absolutely amazing, man. I feel absolutely great. You know, something that, I mean, it came of a shock to me a little bit, but Milos didn't have any doubt. So, yeah, I definitely feel amazing about it, for sure.
You see, once you qualify for Olympia, winning the pro show, I mean, that's completely different level and feeling. I can associate with Samson. You know, I remember when I won my, Olympic qualification, you know, there was the completely new world. As you know, Giles, Samson was so close at the Arnold Classic, super close. And then goes to San Marino. And for me, again, you know, he should have won both of those shows. And I say this openly. You know, there's going to be the arguments and people say, no, he couldn't touch Nathan Tiasha. Well, let me tell you, he just beat best Nathan Tiasha of the season, right? So this is what, when people don't put everything in perspective. I mean, in a prejudging of Arnold Classic, Samson was ahead. And then after the grueling 3 times comparisons back and forth, he started sweating a little bit. And apparently, like, that was the deciding factor, and he lost. I'm delighted, and I was convinced because looking at Samson from week to week, he wasn't losing it, he's improving it. I mean, you know very well, I sent you a couple of pictures before the shows, you know, just because I'm astonished how good Samson is looking. And on that note, we are saying, okay, after the 3 shows, you know, let's do another one, let's do the Prague. Well, there's Romania show, let's do the Romania. I mean, I know that his wife Marlenka is not going to appreciate it. I would let him do the other one in Spain as well, because, I mean, he's improving, you know, and I let Samson speak a little bit. Samson, you are the gentleman. You never want to say anything. You handle your defeats very classy. But, you know, this is what people want to hear. Did you see yourself winning Arnold Classic?
Yes, I did see myself winning the Arnold Classic and everything else. But, you know, when the results come out and, you know, I spoke to Steve Weinberg and he explained to me the reason why we lost. And for me, I felt like, okay, it's a justifiable reason. At least, if we have 2 guys going at it and it's so close and you need a deciding factor and that becomes, one of them starts to sweat and fade, then fair enough, that's what it is. So for me, I actually took that as a plus. I didn't see it negatively at all. I was, okay, cool. It gives me something to work on next time and something to sort of focus on, going, this is the reason why you didn't place this high or you didn't win. So for me, it felt like, okay, it's a good feedback to take moving forward. So that's the only reason. So, you know, I accepted it quite, you know, with a smile and said, okay, you know what? I know how high and how good Nathan Tiasha is. And if I was able to push him that much for my first show of the year, I'm like, okay, you know what? I wasn't, that for me is a big win. That for me is like, yeah, I could definitely take that and feel proud of it, you know. So, you know, as I said, I was just happy with it. I was like, cool, that's what it is, you know, fine by me.
Nathan is now 9 times pro champion. People don't realize 9 times IFBB pro champion. That's spectacular, right? But let's fast forward to San Marino. You placed 3rd, and that was hard for me to swallow. I mean, really, you know, because I understand Nathan being Nathan, and you guys are going up, but Ruli, I mean, we all love Ruli. If he is in condition, yeah, he would be contender. But he was far from condition, and then placing him ahead of you, you know. So some people in your position would be so discouraged and disgusted, and you know, gave up. But you didn't.
No, you know, one thing about this sport, you know, especially when you've been fighting from the bottom all the way up, and you're going year after year, time after time, show after show, and you're getting disappointing after disappointing results. as much as people look at that and they go, oh man, it was a massive disappointment. I was looking at it and going, you know what? Compared to what I've received before, I can't play, you know. So you take away the positive from it. And I obviously, yeah, you kind of look and go, oh yeah, he could have, you know, definitely should have been somewhere in second or whatever. But I just looked at it and go, okay, with my package we brought to the show for our second show of the year, it was much improved, it was much better, and we picked it again, and we learned in my body, and we kind of doing better and better each show. I felt more proud of that, and I was like, wow, you know, we're coming to the shows, we're nailing our conditioning, we're nailing our peak, and for me, it felt like for the first time I'm learning a lot, and I'm taking that all on the chin. I'm really seeing, you know, where we can go with it. So for me, it was a big win for me because I'm like, wow, okay, Arnold wasn't just a fluke one-off. This is something that is really happening. This is something that you're mastering. So you have to take the positive from it, and that was basically what we took from that show.
Milos, given that you've brought Samson in with kind of different looks for each show, how do you prep him differently for each one? Because I noticed in Egypt he was harder, but for the pre-judging at Prague he was a lot fuller. What was the difference in like the last few days?
Yeah, you see, I tell you, this might be interesting for all of you to listen. With each athlete, I'm looking at what is the best benefit. Okay, for Samson, beautiful shape, round muscle bellies. People talk Sean Roden, people talk, you know, Phil Heath. People, you know, comparing his physique to this. He has those round muscle bellies.
Yep.
And we have a lines, and we have a super small waist, deep abs and stuff. So initially, for the first contest, to say he needs to be ripped. He needs to be, you know, dry, ripped, and maybe even on the smallish side. Now, why I say smallish side? What is smallish for Samson is still full as a house for somebody else. So this time for the last show that we did Prague, I said, okay, we experienced it 3 times. I can see that there is still a room that we can fill it up. And we filled it up a little bit more, and you could see he popped on the stage. I mean, he has a super full round chest and super flat stomach. And I think that was more apparent in Prague, you know, this differential of fullness and tightness around the stomach. So in the 4 consecutive shows, like even what he's doing right now, we can tell you, we have no secrets. Right now, Samson is like on 200 grams of carbs, right? 200 grams of carbs, you know, it's nothing really, so it's kind of depletion, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
He's training every single day. He's doing the cardio. He's doing the posing. So he's still in calorie deficit, okay? He's going to be depleting the glycogen, and then you're going to just refill it. And he has another show in Romania, and I'm quite convinced he's going to look even better than he did in Prague. So it's just like you respond to what is in front of you. He doesn't look drained. Every time I talk to him, look at him right now.
Yeah.
He's full of energy. Eyes are shining, you know, full of life. It's not like some of the guys that come to the gym and like you feel sorry for them. I mean, really, because they're so spent, there is nothing there. So there's a difference from draining them and getting in a catabolic state and just, you know, emptying them and being in caloric deficit slight and a glycogen depletion state. There's a big difference. So for Samson, all this time, I mean, we are very meticulous about, you know, I'm watching and I say, that's where you can hang for 3-4 days. And now after that, if Samson, remember the first show, as I was trying to fill you up, and my estimated amount of carbs, you still feel like, oh, you're so hungry. You're so hungry. Well, you see, my feedback is when my athlete tells me he is hungry after my carb meals, starving, okay. Body is saying, okay, let's do a little bit more of the same thing. I don't do any, you know, junk or anything like this. We do with the clean carbs, clean food, you know, nutrients, not calories. I was always against this, just, you know, have a whatever. No, have nutrients, not empty calories.
Glad you said that. Glad you said that. And do you know what? This is, I think this is the first time, I think I said this on the wrap-up for MD last week. I think this is the first time I've ever seen an athlete not come in as dry and look better. Because the difference in Egypt, you were drier and tighter, but the pre-judging look at Prague, it wasn't as dry. But for me, it was a better look for your physique.
Yeah, That's really true. I think because obviously we played it different ways, and normally, you know, if we try to come in full, you end up looking quite soft and spill over and everything else. But because we played all different looks, and with each show, it's always like, okay, some people like the Arnold, you know, like we spoke last time, it was, oh man, the Arnold, that was the look, that was the look. And then we came to Italy and we were much drier, much harder, much thing. But they were like, yeah, we prefer the Arnold look. So we switched things up for the next show.
Yeah.
And, you know, so people do have preference. And obviously with my physique where I'm so round and like, once you fill it out, it just looks more cartoonish and it looks more freakish, you know. Yes, you don't have the same sort of dry hardness as you would some other looks, but when you're going up against guys like Nathan and Regan and Rowley and those guys are big, round guys, you need to be able to pack enough punch to actually answer for that. So, you know, I think for Prague it was basically the best idea to actually come in that full, and, you know, the results spoke.
You know, okay, let's speak bodybuilding language, right? Because, okay, let's be for real. So there is a certain, of course, dehydration methods that you can use, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't use them for this last show.
Oh, wow.
I say, okay, you don't need it. Okay, because what you see is like, oh, this looks fantastic. This looks fabulous. So, you know, that's where that greed gets you. Oh, I can still be drier. Oh, I can be still a little bit more drier, right? And then next thing you know, you see the flatness and you see like completely the opposite. Now it's a soft appearance due to that unnatural dehydration. So they're the steps to it. You know, once you deplete the glycogen, now you need the water for glucose to come in as glucose and water as a glycogen. Then once glycogen is there and you see, okay, you know, last 2 times I'm seeing him, he is hanging there. He's not losing, okay? Perfect. Then at the top, do I need to be dehydrated? Let's see. And we both agree, look, I was anticipate something, but you don't need nothing, right? And this is from show to show can be different, because you look, okay, imagine Samson is going from UK to San Marino, from San Marino to Egypt back to England, Prague, now back to England, Romania, all these kind of things. It's not normal prep, right? So in Egypt, what time did you get in the hotel? 4 o'clock in the morning?
8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Morning.
Yeah.
You know, you still have to get the work done, so it was definitely...
Yeah, so people don't realize it. But Samson, true professional, had all his meal prepared just in case, and stay on track. So, yeah, I also think that his Egypt appearance was phenomenal. He could have gone either way, him or Regan. Mm-hmm. I didn't see him third, but, you know, you see, that's all due respect. People always say, I'm biased. I can't be biased. I'm just like you, Giles. You're watching the show and you call it the way you see it. Granted, you see Nathan for sure winning, mm-hmm. and I told you, no.
Yep, you did.
And I didn't see him winning. But you saw him winning because he's a 9-time champion, and he is in the best condition of a season. Mm-hmm. So you would expect that if he could beat Samson in a lesser condition, he would beat him now again. Mm-hmm. That's normal. But this is not what was on the stage. And if you really watch, Steve Weinberger is such a phenomenal actor. You can imagine he judged 1,000 shows, and you know what it takes when you glance and you have 6 people. You know, first you call 6 people, and then you adjust them before they start even posing, because you already say, okay, this guy should be there, okay, and then what happened after 1-2 poses? He makes the corrections. So if you look at him. And Nathan was never there in the middle. And I said, like, okay. And I said, I was looking why he is not in the middle. Well, he didn't look as big. He didn't. And then another thing, which again, when you really scrutinize, he has a very long torso. And then he positioned his legs like he is riding the horse. Okay, I'm going to say it. Doesn't matter, right? So that makes his legs even shorter. So this is... front your legs, front lat spread, front double biceps, you know, ab shot. In 4 shots, you're making yourself elongated upstairs and short downstairs, which for aesthetics should matter and maybe matter. It's not like Okay, he has a width, he has a fullness. He was really good condition. Look, it could be also that they want to send him a message. You know, maybe he was getting a little bit too confident and too cocky. Like Samson has no business beating him. Well, now going to the Olympia, Nathan knows that Samson can take his scalp.
So Samson, you were up to 14 points before Prague. So you booked Romania even before you won Prague. Was there ever a question in your mind that you weren't going to do Romania? I mean, literally as soon as you won in Prague?
Because literally, we're looking at a lineup, we're thinking, okay, well, whatever happens, we're either going to win a show or we're going to go on points. Yeah. And we're going to keep going until one of them becomes so evident that there's nothing in the way. And we already kind of planned it even to do Spain, which is 2 weeks away, that, look, we're going to keep going until we do. So we already had all these shows.
You're doing Spain. You're doing Spain as well.
Come
on. Come on. I'm getting excited.
But basically, when we did, of all the shows I've done this year, the one show that, I looked at the lineup and I was thinking, okay, Prague was definitely the one I had in mind, thinking, okay, if I was going to win one, it was going to be Prague. Because I looked at the lineup, I looked at the names on the list, and I think, okay, if I come third in Prague, I'll be happy. Because there's a lot of heavy-hitting guys in there. So I was sort of having my mind, okay, do Prague, get it done, and then focus on Romania, okay? So when we were kind of coming into the show, I remember it was like the day before, and I'm speaking to Milos, and he's saying, I think you can win this show. And I'm sort of looking and going, really? And, I sort of like, okay, I'm just going to let you, do your magic, and I'll believe in you. Let's just go win it, So then coming, obviously, even after the pre-judging, we went back to the room, and how Steve, he mixes you guys around up and down the place, and he leaves you completely dumbfounded. You're like, okay, am I fourth? Am I first? Am I third? We literally didn't know where we were by the end of the pre-judging. Yeah. So we went to the room, and I spoke to Milos, and he said, oh, it looks like you're fighting for the win. And we were like, really? Okay, I don't know, but, we were literally that confused. We were like, okay. So we kind of made the plan, saying, okay, we now to come back as good as we are in the morning or better. Just stay focused, stay on track, do what you have to do, and come back on the night show. So, it was really, if you watch the pre-judging, we were all sweating. It was really hot in there, on stage. And the more we paused, the more we started breaking out in sweat. So we're like, okay, we know we pushed out a lot of water through that whole process. So when we come back for the evening, just make sure we will come back dry or whatever happens, okay? Just make sure we come dry in there and try to avoid that ability to sweat so much and just keep yourself composed. So when we came back for the night show, we went a few rounds, and all of a sudden, that confidence, when I realized, actually, we're holding our own quite well, that confidence went up, and I'm feeling like, okay, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really confident. We went through, obviously, the pose and everything else. So until the results actually happened, I'm standing there, and obviously, they called Nathan fourth. And I'm like, I'm just shocked at that point. I'm like, whoa. Okay. Now, I shocked that everybody else was. I was shocked as well. And I was like, okay. And then they called Regan's third. And I'm like, okay. And then they came to the last two men. And I'm standing there, I'm going, man, you know what, regardless of what happens right now, I'm happy. So to then be called and get the win at that point, he just solidified the whole feeling of, oh my God, all that hard work, all that time, everything we've done. Milos said it, people predicted it, and it's finally just happened. And he just, he's just completely surreal.
You just fell, didn't you? You just fell.
Yeah.
It
just came flooded in.
But Milos, at what point watching the live stream did you think, okay, I want him to win it, but at what point did you think, okay, I think he's actually going to win this? At what point?
Prejudging, I think, didn't I text you and you said, no, Milos, I have Nathan. I said, no.
Milos, can I tell you something? Nathan actually messaged me and I said, you're looking great, mate. And he says, I think they've got me fourth. And I said something like, you're absolutely crazy. Stop being paranoid. You've not got fourth. I promise you this. I'm very experienced. I know what I'm talking about. You've definitely not got fourth, Nathan. So,
honestly, I didn't see him fourth, but listen, in the live stream, you could hear, I was there right by my computer, and I hear Steve Weinberger's voice. Did you see it?
Oh, the hot mic.
I hear it. Yeah. He says, after the finals, Regan slipped to fourth and Nathan to fourth. The third and Nathan to fourth. And this is before they announced it.
Oh.
If you have the footage,
I've got it.
You could actually hear it. He was telling somebody
Yeah.
who was probably close to the microphone. I heard it. I told my wife, like, yeah, Regan is third and Nathan's fourth.
Holy
Now it's
shit.
only between Samson and Rafael. But
That's why he's putting the mic
for
down on
me-
the table and it's picking up his voice.
Yeah,
Hot
it
mic,
is.
hot mic.
But I told Samson, he was so convincing for me at the prejudging, because he kept everything: fullness, roundness, dryness, crazy, energetic, dominant presentation of each pose.
Yeah.
He was always on point. Regan was kind of fading, and Regan was clearly second. You didn't agree. I said it's 3 points for Samson and 6 for Regan after prejudging.
Yeah.
So that was, first and second straight across the board. It was not questioned. And then Rafael and Nathan were there. But at the finals, Regan started fading, and they pushed him all the way down to fourth. And I guess they put Rafael against Nathan, so that's how it ended. But nobody was close to Samson was clear winner. I mean, look at the judging score sheets. And if you really, so for me as his coach, seeing him 3 times not being called, it was wonderful for me to see. But really this time I had a great confidence, and I told you, Samson, after prejudging, you're getting this, okay? You just need to not fade at the finals, and he didn't. And, look where we are. I told Samson this already, and, Giles, his life is never going to be the same. Now he has put himself in that upper echelon. He is there. Now they saw him. They were looking at him for a while. Now they saw him. And now it's going to be different.
But the winner side, you've actually now not just gone up against good competitors, but you've beat a lot of competitors. It wasn't just one show, like you said, the Arnold. Ooh, was it? Some people might think, oh, maybe it's not. It's not really a fluke. You can't say a fluke. But if you do multiple shows and you're going up against, Rafael Brandeis and Regan Grimes, and you're doing it more than once, it's a big win for you. Plus, even when you got Nathan was announced fourth, that's a win for you as well, because that means it's another step up.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, with every show, we've just improved show after show. And you keep thinking, okay, this one, my body's going to surely get tired after this one, surely. And then we go through the week, coming off one show and getting the water back in and getting ready for the next one. And you're looking and going, actually, we will look every morning when we're checking and go, you still look fresh. You still look full and fresh. There's no signs of wear and tear. There's no signs of anywhere. And we're looking and go, okay, I guess we're going for the next show here, And it's a weird thing, because normally, I don't know, maybe it's the fact of what we did last year, where we prepped for the whole year or whatever. But being used to obviously doing that, this year we're kind of doing that, and it felt almost easy, because you got used to the idea of suffering. You got used to going out grinding day after day with low energy, going to the gym and beating yourself up day after day. You feel like it just became normality for some crazy reason, So even now, when we've done 4 shows and we're coming up to our 5th one, and you're going to the gym today and everything else, it doesn't feel like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. It feels like, okay, another day, let's get it going.
Has the win given you any good energy now for Romania and possibly Spain?
Massively. The other show, you get close, but you still have that effect of being knocked, where you feel like, and then you have to go to the gym. You got to pick yourself back up. You got to be like, okay, come on, we get close last time. Come on, we got to do it this time. And you pick yourself up. You go through the week of training and pushing your mind and pushing your body to just keep going. This time, you're coming out. For the first time, we kept almost like we're coming off the plane and coming into another week thinking, hell yeah, we did it. Let's go now. I'm ready to go to the gym. Let's get it going. I'm feeling good. So it's completely different mentality. It really does change your mentality, because it almost confirms to you that what you're doing and the way you work, it is working. Yeah. So it gives you that feeling to want to even go harder and keep going for it. The
thing is, you're literally just coming home and then you're pretty much washing your clothes, and a couple of days later you're flying out again. I mean, I just wondered why you're still feeling so kind of fresh. I don't really get it.
Because we try to figure it out too. We kind of like, I don't know what it is. Like, I kept thinking, okay, maybe it's because of obviously last year we had so many disappointments where we were like 2 weeks from a show, and then it would be cancelled. And then we were 1 week from a show, and they would postpone it. And then we were prepping, and you were like 4 weeks out, and then you were like, I think we were like 5 weeks out 5 times last year. You know, and you just keep prepping and prepping and went all year. I mean, we started prepping in January, and we didn't get to stand on stage till September. So, you know, after you've been through that disappointments over and over and over, I think we never saw it at the time, but it does strengthen your resolve when you then come into a fresh year to do it again. So although you kind of going to, because I remember when we were coming up to the Arnold, and we were like, man, it's been like a serious prep. It's been a hard prep. I'm thinking, but compared to what we've been through before, this is a piece of cake.
The hotel room.
When you're doing a show, you're not worried about the show being cancelled 2 days before you have to fly out to it. So your mindset is different.
So the low points of 2021 really helped you achieve your highest points this year. Sorry, of 2020 helped you achieve your highest points of 2021.
I think mentally it really did, because, you know, you literally are at that point where you think, what you've been through last year, how can you complain this year for anything? You know, so it really does change your mentality, and it just makes you feel like I can endure so much more because I know how bad we had to endure last year.
No more Shawshank Hotel of last year in a career.
Oh, no.
You see, if I can jump in on your question, how he handles it. First question I ask Regan, what is your profession? You know, from a Spartan movie. And Spartans are known what is their profession, right? So you're a pro bodybuilder. So once you echo as pro bodybuilder, okay, what does pro bodybuilder does? There is a show, you compete. And when you don't compete, you train to be better for the next show. Yep. What does it mean better in every aspect? You know, bigger, harder, drier, leaner, everything. Presentation, right? So a lot of people don't do that. Now, on that note, I want to jump in and say, look at Samson's presentation. Look at that phenomenal routine he dedicated to John Meadows. God bless his soul. And then look at in Egypt, he didn't even have his music. They play some other music and he improvised like, whoa, look at this great routine. and phenomenal routine in Prague. I mean, this is what it is. When you're a pro bodybuilder and you're going to be on that stage, millions of people are watching now and maybe hundreds of years from now. This is going into history, right? You have to be at your best. So everything you can do daily to maximize it. You see, a lot of people do it so minimal, optimal. No. If you take 24 hours, what can I do to improve? Okay, and then when you do it, next day, can I actually do a little bit better? These are kind of things. Now, Samson has a whole year for Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
I'm sure that all his life, we didn't even talk about it, but all his life he probably dreamed of being on Mr. Olympia stage. Now you earn the right. Now, as you have that right, it's only up to you what you're going to present it. So for damn sure, we're going to work 13 months, you know, on that one to bring a crazy package.
I love the before and after you posted this morning, Samson, 2009 to 2021.
I know. I remember like last year. Remember last year after we obviously went through everything we did, and you asked me a question, Giles. You said, like, would you have liked to get a special invite for the Mr. Olympia? And I remember me telling you, nah, I wouldn't want to, regardless, because there's always this pride of I want to earn my right into it. I don't want to be given. I don't want to be settled in. I don't want to be saying, oh well, you know, he tried his best, so let's just give him a pass. No, I don't. You know, I feel like Mr. Olympia is the most prestigious show on the planet, and it's only for the best of the best. Not people that sort of made it, people that really did establish it. So this year, it felt like, okay, this is your life dream. This is what you've always wanted to do. This is always the stage you want to get to. And first time you stand on it, you don't want it to just be handed to you. You want to earn it. So for me, this is what, you know, getting to the Olympia this stage, this is what it always meant to me. It wasn't given. It wasn't just, you know, blessed onto me. It was something I had to earn. And
you've got 13 months now to prep, because obviously the Olympia is in Vegas next December. So, and you've got a really early qualification. So you've got 13 months now. So, I mean, before we'll come to the Olympia in a second. So we're 4 days out from Romania. What's the plan?
Yeah.
Milos.
Plan for Samson to go there and win. And then, you know, after this, I told him, okay, let's wait until Sunday afternoon to think about Spain, because there's a lot of other things happening in Samson's life. I'm not going to say if he doesn't. So, you know, maybe they deserve some time off. But then again, I competed, I told something, in 72 pro shows. I did every pro show they organized. And why I did it, because really, my profession was a pro bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I'm here in England. Spain, you can spit over and you're there, right? And there's a contest. And I'm not going to do it. No, it would be hard for me to justify it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Monday through Friday you're going to work. But that Thursday didn't feel right, so I'm going to skip the Thursday, right? You know, what is your profession? But I'm not going to push it. Look, I'm delighted with his success so far. I mean, 4 shows is hard. Now he's going to the 5th show. Is he going to do, you know, anything after Romania? It's completely up to Samson. I already expressed my opinion. There is good and bad in both. You know, but I'm for it.
Well, we didn't see that at all. It was very subtle, wasn't it? So I think I know what the answer is.
Because I basically said that, look, after Romania, the evening of Romania, we're going to decide what we're going to do next. We're going to see, okay, look, what do you want to do at that point? And, you know, I'm like I said before we've been doing, after Prague, coming to Romania, he asked me, oh, do you want to do Romania next week? And I said, yeah, I'm 50-50. You know, and then 5 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I'm 60-40. You know,
nice.
And then the next day, I'm like, okay, let's go to Romania.
But you told me you already had your flights booked, because I messaged you and I said, I forget what happened, and you said, I'm doing Romania, and I was like, what? I said,
because we weren't planning on winning Prague, so after you got the result, okay, we've got it. And,
let's do it.
At the time, you're so bombarded with the happiness and everything, joy in the moment, you're thinking, okay, that's it. But then you start thinking, going, well, it's only next weekend though. Like, it's like right there, you know. Are you really? You've already booked your flights, you booked the hotel, you booked everything. Yeah. So, what's a quick trip to Romania and get done and, you know, go from there? I'm like, yeah, go on then. You know, I definitely, I'm not suffering, and, you know, I can definitely do another week of prep quite easily. So, hell, let's do it.
You see, but here's one thing. I mean, Giles, and for Samson, he is ready. He is obviously pro champion, Olympia qualifier now, right? Mm-hmm. And he's doing everything he did for the previous show. So he's in shape. He doesn't know, you don't know, and I don't know, can he improve? But there is a very good possibility, right? Yeah. You're already there, and now another week of dieting, because he's still dieting, you know, 4 days, low carbs, right? And he's still digging deeper. He can still get a little bit leaner, right? Any little extra fiber can make a difference. So this is how we all discover how far can we go. I mean, this is one of the things why I did 72 pro shows.
So what was your, this question's to each of you, what was your favorite look, Samson, of all the shows you've done? Putting the placings aside, what was your favorite look? And I want to put that to you first and then to Milos.
Oh man, Prague, definitely.
You like Prague? Yeah, the pre-judging I thought was amazing. And it's funny because you weren't quite as dry, but you had more pop to your physique, you know? Yeah. You stood out.
You know, when you're backstage and you're pumping up and you lift the weight a little bit and you just get this massive pump, and you can see how tight the muscle is against the skin. It gives you a sense of that confidence of, okay, you got your armor on, let's go. Yeah. So for me, we had that in spades in Prague. So, you know, I felt so big and so full. I was like, God damn, okay, I'm about to pop in this one. So we walked out. We was like, yeah, okay, let's really go for it, you know. So for me, that was definitely, you know, my favorite look of all the four shows we've done.
I agree with this one also, but I tell you, the San Marino show, there was such a horrible light. Yeah, I see him in not in person, but you know, videos that he sent me, and I analyze it. Trust me, I take hundreds of photos, you know, blow it up, and then look leg separation, just like I sent you back from Egypt, right? The legs. I sent it to Giles. You don't know Samson.
First time I've seen your legs that dry, mate. That was because I think you've always had lovely shape to your legs, but the real dry detail, I felt like it was always quite. It was a couple of % away. But when I saw that picture of your legs, I posted it on MD and Global, and it was like, wow, he's really got it. It looks really as tight as it could be.
There was bone dry. Yeah. You see, this is the thing. When you have that separation, right, and you know, that extra dryness or extra fullness. So you have to see it. Sometimes, extra, you know, we all like, oh, bone dry, wow. But, you know, when you look kind of empty-ish, and then you look at the other look, when it's fully blown, but it's still separated, tad less dry, who are we going to give? And I mentioned this a million times. You probably heard that story. 94 Mr. Olympia. I was in greatest condition of my life, dry as a bone, everything, but I placed 13th. And then I go to European tour and I beat Porter Cochelle, who was top 5 at Olympia in every show.
Yep.
Italy, Spain, Germany, all the shows.
Mm-hmm.
And come back to Weider office, Joe Weider, 2 weeks later. And for me, I'm not even close to my Olympia condition. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I go to the photo shoot, and he's, Milos, why didn't you look like that at Olympia? You was placed six.
Yeah.
No, really.
Yeah.
But I was completely, he's old man and he's just talking nonsense. And then he said, no. He took the Polaroids and took me to his desk and showed me Olympia picture and my Polaroid, same pose. And I said, I'll be damned. Here at Olympia, I knew I was ripped dry, everything. But here, I'm a little bit off, but I'm so much fuller and I'm just as separated. I would give this guy over that guy any day. That's when I realized, oh my God, it's not just, dry, lean.
Yeah. I'm turned around on it now. I'm turned around on it now. And I mean, that's one of the only times I've ever seen it when I've actually gone, actually, that's for that person's physique, that is actually a slightly better look.
Yeah. And for Samson, Samson said himself, he has that cartoonish superhero roundness. It's really, you can put some mask on Samson and make him a superhero. But your eyes would always be so far, everybody would know that's you.
Yep.
But anyway, he does have this really cartoonish, which we all love. And if I tell you, he needs to be full to be so impressive.
Yeah. So please tell me in the next year that you're going to be going out to Vegas to get some training done and some, Milos camp.
Oh, yes, definitely. That I'm looking forward to so much, and definitely would love to do that, and definitely planning for it.
When?
You know who's coming tomorrow?
Who?
Jamie Johal.
Is he?
Giant. He's coming tomorrow. He wants to train.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Oh, that's brilliant. That's really good. Yeah. So, okay then, guys. Well, also, I can't do this episode and not acknowledge, obviously, the bad news we had on the day of your show. I mean, I can't imagine, in between the pre-judging and the night show, you're getting that, and you've still got to focus. And I can imagine it was a bit of a shock, a big shock for you as a competitor. Well, you're literally there in your trunks and you're looking at your phone and you get this terrible news.
I mean, it was completely shocked. I remember Milos reaching out to me between the pre-judging and saying, "Look, we just got bad news about what happened," and you kind of sitting there going, "For real? Seriously? Like, is this for? Is it actually really confirmed? We can't. Surely not. And obviously when the messages and everything starts going and the post goes up, you're looking at it going, wow, this is just unbelievable. Like, really, another one right now. And you're trying to sort of keep your mind focused on what you're about to do, but yet you got this whole thing going, just unraveling in front of you. And it takes a lot for you to kind of like, okay, you know what? But deal with it later. But now focus on what's in front of you.
Yep.
Emotionals in check and just focus on what's in front of you, okay? And it does take us a lot of work, but, we just all kind of managed to do that, and obviously the sad news that, what happened is really devastating to the bodybuilding world, something that was just really unexpected at all.
The thing is, you're all in the same boat as well, because you're all kind of getting the news at the same time. So you're all in the same boat, but you've still got this job to do that day. So, I really felt for you guys, man. I really felt for all of you on that day,
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So, okay then, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go. Anything else you want to talk about, Milos, quickly?
No, I mean, we know that Victor Richards passed away today. That's another
56.
He was also a friend of mine. It's just devastating. I was getting the news as Samson was on the stage, from Mauro Sassi, Italian coach. And it's like one of those things that, no, this absolutely cannot be true. And unfortunately, it is true. So that puts things in perspective. I mean, live your life to the fullest, because you never know when it's your last day, right? And in a bodybuilding circuit, there are certain things that we are willing to do, but there are the smart things and reasonable things, and not going overboard. So there's that distinctive difference. Yeah, it's a whole new subject, and I don't want to really open a can of worms.
Yeah,
I'm devastated for Sean. We were devastated for John Meadows. As this is how I actually met Samson, because he was working with John, and as John died, he reached out to me because I had a good relationship with John. And for me, I never actually said that publicly, I had a great friendship with John, mutual respect, and every time we see each other in those shows, it's we are both busy with our athletes, and just say, I said, this time he told me, Milos, I don't care. You're going to have a drink with me tonight. Tomorrow we're going to have a lunch. Yeah. And we did. And then as we talked, we made the plans. Okay, he's coming to Vegas. He told me everything about his sons and about the football coaching, and because my wife is a football player for 20 years, and then about his passion for gambling, if you can imagine. And so there was a goal of us soon having this kind of time. And then same thing at one of the shows, I'm at the airport, and I get the phone call from Dennis James, and then shortly after I heard from Samson. So those are realities of our life, and we have to really take each and every day like it's the last one. So live to the fullest. I think John would be very happy with what you guys have managed to do since, the way that you stepped in to help Samson and kind of get him back on track, and the way that you've kind of, you've carried on, the good work that John did, and and kept him going, and now he's got a win, and it's kind of like a kind of nice end to a very kind of tragic story, and it's a testament to the the team up this has brought, really.
Yeah, very true, very true. As John always said, he was saying about, like, Sam, I can see you definitely getting that 2022 Olympia stage. I just don't see any possibility not being on that Olympia stage. And, to finally achieve it and finally, make that prediction come through, it's surreal, man. It does really kind of hit you hard in your heart. And you're thinking, John, I remember literally the beginning of this year when I spoke to him, and he said that to me when I was just feeling all down at the time. And he's saying, you've got a big future in bodybuilding, man. And I guarantee you're going to be on that 2020 Olympia stage. And you sort of think, well, okay,
you've done it.
Well, I like that, and I see it.
Yeah.
And for him to have kind of worked with me, and then obviously this then happened, and then it still happened the way he said it was going to happen. It's surreal, man. It really, you can't make words what that feels like. How that feels in your heart, and you're thinking, wow. Honestly, I can't thank him enough for everything. And obviously, Milos as well, for helping us literally picked up where John left off and just literally took it to a whole new level with it. And I would like to say that John is most respected and most loved individual in the whole industry. Yes. Absolutely. The one. He is the most loved. And, as you're saying this, I could hear him talking about your Olympia qualification. Just me 1 million times, you falling down on the ground after you were called the victor, and what he was saying, it was overwhelming. I can cry right now just thinking about it. But yeah, John, that one was for you. Yeah, definitely. It was definitely. Dedicate that top 10 placing next year to John, and and to Milos, obviously. But sure. Yeah, so wow. That's definitely. Sorry? That's a definite plan. Yes. That's a definite. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I know, it's incredible. It's incredible. So just like I said, it's been quite a year. It was quite a year for you last year, but you've managed to turn it around now, and you're just picking up momentum, and you're kind of fulfilling that potential that I thought would take maybe another year to kind of reach. Yeah. Like, you're already there. I said to you, I said you will be in the Olympia 2022. You'll be top 10, and I thought, okay, I'll get on points, and then you got the win, and now it's like, and now you're taking out big names, and it's and things are going great, and it's really you've really arrived, mate. Another year to improve, and this time I've watched my first off season with Milos, and I'm excited because this is going to be crazy. Oh yeah, I'm very excited because I don't think he experienced some of the methods of growing, and with this kind of genetics. Yeah. Well, Samson, I fly in on Friday to Bucharest, so I'll see you at the Crown Plaza, mate, and
Yeah, and I'll be doing the live stream with Lauren, doing the live stream commentary for both days on the Saturday and the Sunday. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you on stage and seeing you hopefully get that second win. Because imagine going to maybe with 2 wins, maybe even 3 with Alicante. Oh my God. Oh, it'd be so good. Oh, we're all getting over it. Get excited now, mate. So, okay then, gentlemen, I thank you so much for coming, MD Glove Muscle. And like I said, all the best for the next year. And we'll speak to you very soon.
All right.
All right, I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Milos. Thank you, Samson. Okay, guys, it is time for hot news for season 4 of episode 41 of MD Glove Muscle. Wow, what a week it's been. We're going to go through everything and get through all the news as best we can. It's good, and obviously there's a lot of bad news as well. But we're gonna give it to you all. And we're just gonna, let's crack on. Right, okay. First hot news is I want to talk about Emir Omaregic. Hope I said that right. I think I've said it wrong. Okay, 22 years old. This guy was 7th place in his pro debut at the EVLS Prague last week. Fantastic pro debut. In fact, I'm going to bring this picture up first because I think this really, if that is really an indicator of how good 22. Is that Ruli? That's Ruli, and that's Ruli. Although not at his best, that's Ruli kind of size-wise, probably, close to the biggest as he is. So for that kid to be 22 years old, to be standing and holding his own next to Ruli, Ruli was 5th. This kid was 7th place. He's actually a lot better from the back. So let's try and find a back shot. Yeah, there's a back shot here. He's good from the front, but I mean from the back, his readable bicep especially was really, really, really impressive. So let's see if we can find any. Is that? No, I thought it was Marasasi there, but it's not. Yeah, look at that. 22 years old. Technically, he's still a junior. He's still a junior because junior's 23 and under now, isn't it? Yes. But look at that. Look at the thickness and density. He reminds me a bit of Vlad there. Oh. He's 3 years younger than Vlad Suhorochko. I mean, Vlad is what, 25, 26 now, isn't he? I believe. But what a future this kid's got. I mean, he's prepped by Chris Aceto. So he's got a very, very good coach. I want to see some contest pictures of his back. Maybe we'll find them on one of the other pages. But yeah, German. Like I said, his pro debut. So we don't know a huge amount about him. Milos Sarcev there loves his little arm emojis. What do you have to type in to get that funny arm emoji? Is it guns?
No, it's just on
strong. No, you do. You have to type something in, and then the emoji comes up on your WhatsApp. Bicep. No, I'm sure it doesn't. No, I'm sure it's not bicep. Mention in the DMs. I can check afterwards anyway. But yeah, look at the shape. Let me sort of gyno out though. So there's no excuse for gyno. No excuse for gyno because you can see it when you're coming in. You can either get surgery, you can take anti-estrogens to counteract it. But look at the density on this kid. I mean, he's just 22 years old. It's good to see some good, bodybuilders coming out of Germany now. We've got Tim Buddersheim. Really we haven't, since the kind of like the last 10, 15 years, we had Marcus Ruhl, Dennis Wolf, absolute huge superstars of pro bodybuilding. So it's nice to see some new guys coming through. I'm trying to think of any good other German bodybuilders. I've just got Tim Buddersheim in my head. Oh, David Hoffman, Ronnie Raquel. Yes, I think he's retired now. But let's have a look. These are the shots from the Prague show. He was in the second call out. He was in the center at the second call out. So he was, I tell you what, he is good. This kid has got a lot of potential. I mean, 7th place, and there was 20 guys or 20 plus guys. And there were some good guys. He beat Pavel Baran. But imagine that, 22 years old, coming in, and you're already making an impact, really. So fantastic result for Emir. Like I said, prepped by Chris Aceto, so he's in good hands there. So, right, I'm going to go to our next hot news is Quinton Area. I was chatting to Quinton yesterday because I was trying to get him on Global Muscle, but he's actually traveling to Romania. He flies in today because this has been filmed on Wednesday. Normally we film on a Sunday or a Monday. But, what are you laughing at his name? Quint Beastwood. Yeah. We were laughing at that one 2 years ago, love. But, yeah, I mean, Quint is someone... How old is he now? Still, how old is he? I think he's like 20... I'm sure he's no older than 26. From Canada. A HD muscle guy. Lovely, lovely kid. I've had him on at least 2 or 3 times on MD Glove Muscle. But look at this. And don't forget, this guy is also tall. So look at that. Look at the aesthetics. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that's kind of... He looks like a bigger Samson now. I tell you what. Do you think Samson's in trouble? I tell you what, I'm really excited to see because they're both around 6 foot tall. Maybe in fact, Quinton looks taller.
He looks a nice chest.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, nice full round muscularity. I think Samson's got better abs and a smaller waist, which kind of sets the physique off. And I think Samson's a little bit heavier, although this guy looks kind of thicker. He looks like almost like Nathan Diasha thickness, but where Samson's kind of more. He doesn't look as big, but he's got such a beautiful shape, Samson. But I tell you what, this guy has got a very beautiful shape, fantastic aesthetics. He did the Vancouver a couple of years ago. He competed last year. I think he slipped a little bit. He was like kind of out the top 5 in the shows he was doing. But he was there. Look, showing off his prep meals. I tell you what, I think he wants to eat more because look how happy he looks. Wow, cool. Let's have a look. Yeah, there he is. So this is just before he's flying. This is at the start of his journey. He looks hungry. So travel day, got everything you need. Sergio, beast is an understatement. Travel day. Yeah, so he's flying from Toronto. This was 22 hours ago. So this is like Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. And I believe, he will be in Romania now. He's in Bucharest, which is where we will be on Friday. We'll come to that shortly. But come on, I want to see some physique pictures. Come on, Quint. Here we go. Look at that. Wow. Look at the sweep on the quad, the teardrop. He's got good calves, small waist, thick abs, beautiful V-shape. To me, he reminds me of like a sort of a young, taller Lee Haney. With better legs, thicker legs. But the thing with Quint is he the last time I kind of saw him on stage, he still needs to bring up his back shots. They're not quite as developed or as detailed or as conditioned as his front or his side shots. But I tell you what, there's a kid that, he's part of this new generation, the Rafael Brandeas, the Regan Grimes, the Vlad Suhorochkos, the Nick Walkers, all in their 20s. The Amira Omaragic, is that the word? Sorry, I'll bring it up on the screen again. Omaragic, the kid we just had on from Germany, 22. But, to think these guys are this good in their 20s is so, so impressive. But, I hope his physique has improved and he's brought up his back. Because I tell you what, if he has, he's going to be top 3 this weekend in Romania. And if he's improved significantly, then I think Samson and Rafael Brandao are in for hell. I really think that. Like I said, this kid's got all the time in the world. But I've really rated this Quinton for 2 years now. I think it was 2019 the first time I saw him on stage. That was at Vancouver. That was the one where Hadi Chupin was first and Nathan Diasha was second. So really. I mean, look at that. That's incredible. Look at that. When he opens up, when he lifts up his arms and he does that front of a bicep, what a sensational physique. And he's got the legs as well and the calves. So, I mean, he's got all the tools to be Mr. Olympia, within the next few years. So let's see what he brings this weekend for the Romania Muscle Fest, and also let's see what he brings for the future. So, like I said, I was really excited when I saw his name on the list because, like I said, I'm a big fan of the kid. I like him. He's a good guy, and I'm rooting for him. So, right, okay, next one is Rafael Brandao, last week's runner-up at the EVLS Prague. Health and beauty. Health and beauty. Professional bodybuilding. 1 million followers. Wow. I tell you what, the Brazilians. I don't think I've seen a Brazilian bodybuilder pro that's got under 300,000 followers. That's incredible. Even some of like the guys who aren't winning shows, some of them have got and some of the female athletes like the wellness, they've got like 1 million, 2 million followers. I mean, there's so many of the athletes, they're so well supported, the professional athletes in Brazil, and the love for bodybuilding and for all the different divisions is it's so great to see. It's so great to see. But Rafael last weekend placed second to Samson. He was straight second. He beat Regan Grimes and he beat Nathan Diasha. 9 pro wins, just won 3 pro shows. He won Yamamoto, he won Alicante in August, and he won the Arnold UK. Yeah, now I've looked at some of the pictures, I do see that he has made some improvements. Because I said on the wrap-up last week for MD that I felt like when I was watching the live stream, I felt like he hadn't really made much improvements in the last year. But I think he has, they're just not like really significant. They're quite subtle. But and now I see them when I look at these kind of pictures. He's still bottom heavy. Needs to watch the quads because otherwise he could get like Rami syndrome where he ends up a little bit bottom heavy. But yeah, great aesthetics. I remember seeing Raphael when he made his pro debut at the 2017 San Marino. He was first call up with Hadi Chupin, Brandon Curry, Tim Budesheim, who else? Brandon Curry? Yeah, so anyway, his first call out, ended up getting 8th place. He was only 18 months out of the juniors. I think he put on something like 30 pound of muscle. It's funny because people think he could do classic, but he's like he's in the 250s, this kid. So he'd have to probably knock off 30, 40 pounds of muscle to be classic. So, and the thing I like about Raphael, he's bringing classic to the open. He's bringing those aesthetics, and I think that is, it's like Samson. Samson's bringing aesthetics or a classic look to the open. And at the end of the day, now it's winning shows, So, excuse me. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. Right, okay, let's see some of the shots. It's funny, Fouad Abiad on the live stream said that Raphael here, this one here, he said he needs more back and he's got a weak back. I mean, to me, I think his back's the best there. Is that fair? I mean, if you look at the detail, the width, I mean, even Nathan, his back looks bigger than Nathan's there.
No, I think
doesn't it?
Nathan's got a bigger back.
Do you think?
I do. I think it's the tan, the colour, and he kind of blends in with the background.
Nathan was, Fouad said Nathan was bringing his arms too far and his elbows too far forward. He's spreading too much. Okay. I mean, Raphael's hitting the pose beautifully there. But I tell you what, it doesn't look like he's got a weak back. And his readable biceps are really, really good shot. Regan Grimes, he's won the Egypt Pro now, so he's qualified for next year's Olympia. Samson, I still want to see more back on Samson. For next year's Olympia, he's qualified, now he's won the EVLS Prague. I want to see him with a thicker back. I think it would set his physique off perfectly. I mean, his back in the frontal bicep, where the way it kind of flares out is incredible. But I think in those two shots, the rear lat spread and the readable bicep, I think he's got 13 months now to work with Milos and really, really, get the back kind of like that level of thickness, that density. But, he's got time to do it. He's got time for a proper off-season. Like Milos said in this episode, he can really learn how to properly, do a Milos, and really make significant improvements now because he has 13 months. Now he's qualified for next year's Olympia because next year's Olympia will be in December. It's going to be in Las Vegas, which is where Milos is. So the cards are stacked in Samson's favor. So anyway, let's go back to Raphael. Oh, this is the shot saw today. Look at that. Look at those quads. Holy shit. Wow. I've got quads like that.
They're huge.
I've got quads like that. What are you laughing at? You're fired. No, please don't go. I'll have no one to switch. Right, okay, let's have another look. Here we are, the top three. His frontal biceps incredible. Look at that. Look at the shoulder to waist, the aesthetics. And tell you what, I think he will be better this week for Romania. So I do see this week's Romania show going to between Samson and Raphael. I think it's gonna be another showdown between these two. Regan is actually not doing. He's gone back to Canada. He's not doing the Romania. He's shutting it down now till I'm assuming till next year. Thing is, he's got the win now, so he doesn't necessarily need to compete again until the Olympia next year. What was he at the Olympia? He was 14th or 15th. Well, he was out of the top 10. It wasn't, and he didn't look as good as he did once he started working with Milos. And obviously what he produced at the Legion Sport and then the Egypt KO Squad Pro. So, and that was in just a couple of weeks of working with Milos. So that's very encouraging for what they will bring next year. So it'll be interesting to see Regan and Samson up against each other again at the Olympia, both being Milos's boys. So hopefully we can get to see some. Yeah, like that's a shot I posted on MD. That one. Do you know what? I was at that Olympia, 2001. That was my first Olympia. That was the first Olympia, and I was really happy because I got to see Sean Ray, who's from when I was 14 in 1990 when I first started following bodybuilding. Sean Ray was my favourite bodybuilder. And then a year later, Kevin Levrone popped up by winning the Nationals in 1991, competed, won the Night of Champions in 92, second at Olympia. And then those two were my favourite bodybuilders. So we're saying like 20 years later, we now have Samson Dauda and Raphael being the top two in these shows. So it's good. It's good to, it's, and the nice physiques, aesthetic physiques, condition, proportionate. But look at his legs. Look at that shit. Wow. His legs are incredible, Raphael's. I mean, my God. This is before, I think this is before when he was flat, when he was depleted. Oh no, this is after 5 meals of carbs. Let's go. Getting freaky. Prepped by Chris Aceto as well. But yeah, look at that. I love it when you get the veins up your abs like that. Oh, it's so cool. You don't want to eat anything to spoil it. Yeah. So, and of course, here we are. We're going to come to this in a bit. There he is with Sean Roden. So we'll talk about Sean Roden at the end because I really want to bring that up properly because this was a huge blow, and I mean it's the outpouring of people that have been posting photos of with their personal stories of Sean Roden. It's been quite wonderful to see that, but it's also been quite harrowing as well to kind of experience and to hear the grief from just everyone in the industry. It's yeah, so there's a young Raphael there. Well, he's still young, but younger. So I'm just gonna show the front wall bicep. Look at that. Yeah. Tell you what, he's got everything. He's got everything. I just think a little bit more thickness on that upper body and another year. I tell you what, next year's Olympia though, I mean, if he wins Romania and he shuts it down, he could do what Regan, do what Samson are doing and shut it down till the Olympia next year. And it's so exciting when you get all these guys getting early qualifications and then the Olympia's put back from October to December and they're getting early qualifications. Nathan's got a qualification now, early qualification. Samson, Regan, and hopefully Raphael will either get a win in Romania or he'll get enough points to shut it down so he doesn't have to do multiple shows through the year to either get a win or get enough points to make sure he is absolutely in the Olympia. Because I tell you what, the Brazilian fans do want to see this guy in the Olympia. Yeah, Brazil. Brazilian bodybuilding is absolutely incredible. Right, okay, then next one is Romania Muscle Fest Pro. We fly out on, myself and Lauren, fly out on Friday to Bucharest. And we are very excited because we're doing the live stream commentary for both the amateur on the Saturday and the pro on the Sunday. And I spoke to Leona Popper, and at the time when I spoke to her a few days ago, she said 350 in the amateur and over 150 pros in the pro. So it's going to be an absolute, and I think it's every single division. Mm-hmm. Is it every single division? Oh, that's right. No fitness because the stage isn't big enough. But yeah, so I just saw this guy today. Is he open or amateur or what is he? Prosted. Who is this guy? Coach Bruno Santos. That's not the best picture I've seen. I saw some other ones. They didn't post them. Bugger. Let's go to his Instagram. Let's just have a look at this guy's physique. He's really impressive. No, it must have been. Oh, this one. Yeah, look at this. This is the shot I liked. Look at that. Look at the density there. Oh, and he had Shall I do it? Yep. A bit of a Haddy situation going on here. Yeah. Mate. I know I keep saying to guys, don't put it in your shoulders, put it in your glutes, but mate, you gotta rotate it. Come on. Don't put it in the same spot. Otherwise it doesn't look good on stage. It's very distracting. That's really obvious. Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? So but yeah, what is he, open? Is he amateur or he's a monster, isn't he? Sorry? No, I want to look at pictures. I want to look at pictures. Hang on. Right, okay. So what is he? Is he a pro? Pro. Yes. Oh, Bruno Santos Pro. Clues in the name, guys. So it's all in Spanish, Brazilian, Portuguese. Oh, what's happened to... Hang on. How do I get out of here? Oh, Romania. Right, okay. Let's go back to Romania. There you go, Muscle Fest. It's my second time to Romania. I went in 2019 and I absolutely loved the place. It's absolutely beautiful. And I hope we get the chance to go to Dracula's Castle and impale some people. Yeah, heads on pikes. That's what we want to see. If I'm not going to see any heads on pikes, I'm going to be very disappointed. Or something. Right, okay. So here's the lineup. We have Samson Dauda there coming in. He's obviously coming hot off his win from Prague. Milan Shadek from the Czech Republic, fantastic bodybuilder. I want to see him pull out the bag because I've not been too impressed with what he's been producing in the last year or so. I think he did the Yamamoto Pro and he wasn't even top 5. And this is a guy that should be, I mean, he'd be pushing for wins in any show because he's been top 6 Olympia in the 212. He's been top 3 at the New York Pro in the Open. He's very, very good, but I've not been too impressed by what I've been seeing. I don't know who this guy is. That is Bojan Ivanov. He did the Yamamoto, but didn't turn up for the finals or something. I think he was in about 8th place, but he got a DNF on the score sheet and did not finish. I don't know why. I've tried to find out, and I've come into dead ends. So, and he looked really good, but he just needed a bit more condition. So hopefully, if he's got the condition, he's going to be very, very interesting to watch. Then we have Rafael Brandeo. This is Milos's guy. This guy here. Is it Mehmood or something? I'll find the name. Mehmood, and then obviously there's Quinton Area. Very excited to see Quinton. I tell you what, if he's made improvements and he's brought the back up and the conditioning's good, Samson, Rafael are in big trouble. Big trouble, mister. So, sorry, I've completely lost my track of. Oh, this guy. Yeah, this is the one. This is Milos's guy. Sorry, Beruz Tabani. Very, very. Milos was sending me pictures of this guy last week or this week, can't remember. And he's it says it all. He's a freak. So I saw some shots of the legs, and the legs wasn't quite as good as the upper body, but maybe when they're shredded, and because he's not in top condition there. He still looks a few weeks out to me. But he's 4 days out. Oh shit. Whoops. Okay, maybe it's just the filter. So yeah, so let's keep an eye out for this guy, Beruz Tabani. Milos says he has high hopes, so be interesting to see how he looks compared to the others like the Samson, the Raphaels, and the Quintons. So lost my train of thought now. Yep, I think we've and also, yep, don't forget there is no audience at this event. So if you want to see the event, you've got to watch it on the 2-day live stream. So go to plus.muscleandfitness.com. It's $39.95. And if you saw the quality of the live stream last year, the quality of the camera angles, I'm sure it was in 4K, and it was very, very high quality. So there you go. So November 13th and 14th, this weekend. By the time you watch this comes out on Friday. So if you buy this on the Friday, you can watch all the amateur on the Saturday, all the pro on the Sunday, and you'll have my voice in your head for 2 days straight. So we don't do refunds. So there's a treat for you. Like the voice of God. Yep. Okay. Right. Okay. So anyway, we're going to go on to next hot news. Bodybuilders Without Borders, because I just like to see what's going on. And donations and shout outs. Yes, please. I'll take some of them. Always up for donations and no, not shout out. Donations better. Put your money where your mouth is. Ooh. Carlos Thomas Jr. Yeah, senior's dad. So yeah, 7 weeks out he is there. Oh no, he's 2 weeks out from a qualifier. And one of the most impressive amateurs I've ever seen. Yeah, fucking tree trunks. Too right. And this guy's an amateur. Have a look. I mean, this is the guy that I said last week was the picture might be photoshopped, but it's not. I mean, look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. I tell you what, unless something goes drastically wrong with his condition, or some I don't know, some long lost alien DNA son of Ronnie Coleman comes down from and manages to jump on stage and outpose this guy. I mean, I don't see anyone taking this pro card off him. I think he's going to be one of the guys that takes home the pro card at the NPC Nationals. To be honest, this is one of the best. I mean, well, it's how he looks now. Hopefully he'll retain that impressiveness. But as he's been coming into this prep, he's been getting more impressive, not less. So you've got a good coach there with Patrick. Obviously you want to see these legs come right in nice and tight. But yeah, I'm really excited to see Carlos at the Nationals. How do I get off this now? Oh, bollocks. Get off. Oh, the cross net. Yeah, there we go. Right, okay, so what else we got on here? We haven't got much on here, I think. We got the Romania. Let's have a quick look at this. Quick look at the, it's a big lineup. So you got 20, can I go down a bit more? No. So there's 22. In fact, I think I saw another name on one of the other score sheets. So I think there's possibly 23 guys in the open. So that is a really big lineup. Also, Morgan asked, the big Frenchman, my article in MD. Is that a spoiler? Probably is. I'll get told off for that. Sorry. Morgan asked the article, next issue of MD. Get your copy. And so I mean, I've gone through all the names and the lists on the Romania Muscle Fest preview with Ron Harris. Should be out the day before you watch this. So go and check that out and you'll see all our breakdowns of all the categories. So I won't go through it again. But she knows. Right, okay. Yeah, look at Quint. Look at Quinton. I can't keep calling him Quint now because it's bloody Quint Beastwood. I wonder if he'll ever change that. Because it's still funny, isn't it?
It's too good.
It's still funny. Yeah, it's still funny. Yeah, look at that. I mean, proportions, genetics. He's got it all. And, you know, this kid doesn't have to do anything in a rush because imagine if he ruined that waistline. I mean, to me, if you squint Beastwood, it's, that's what we're going to call him, Squint Beastwood. If you squint Beastwood, it's like, I don't know, a bit more chest and back. Yeah, very Lee Haney. Maybe he's Lee Haney's love child or something. So if Clint Eastwood and Lee Haney had a love child, this is what they'd produce, probably. Throw in some, like I said, Ronnie Coleman DNA as well to match. There was not much on here, actually. This guy, Jan Turek, 6th place. Hang on a minute. Yeah, he looked very good. Top 6 at the EVLS. This guy's an amateur. This guy, really, look at that. I mean, he looks like a pro. He looks like, I don't know what he's weighing there. Is he going? Yeah, he's going to the Nationals as well. So this guy's going up against Carlos Thomas Jr. And, I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at the guitars. Imagine if you just grabbed one in the post down and started air guitar in. I would. Look at that. Yeah, great proportions, great shape. What is he, a heavyweight? What's his name? Elliot Dermond. Yeah, fantastic. Took the NPC Rock Hard Muscle Show. Oh, I like that bit of a theme. Rock music, guitars, music in the background. Very, very clever. I like it. Has a lot of potential, great density. Yeah, obviously he's not in top condition there, but I tell you what, for a qualifier, he's a bit more back. But yeah, I'd be surprised that there's another guy who won't be taking up a pro card. I don't know what division he is. Is he heavyweights or it doesn't really say? Yeah, well, I tell you what, this is actually probably going to be one of the best nationals for quite a few years. Ooh, Gyno needs sorting. Yeah, I'll get that sorted, buddy. No excuse for Gyno. But what an impressive physique. Yeah, fantastic. There's Samson. Yay. Oh, he was so happy. He was so happy. I think he lost his job earlier in the year because for some reason. So yeah, what an amazing story. You know, I mean, the fan base he built last year by all the hard luck he had, and now he's actually really, you know, he's really sort of producing the goods now. This guy impressed me as well in the classic. This was Jesus. How do you say that? Well, Jesus. He was 3rd in the classic, and that's actually not the best shot because his back shots were phenomenal. But he really impressed me. I'm sure it was his pro debut. Great conditioning. Amazing. Yeah, amazing. Definitely keep an eye on this guy. Let's have a look at this. Here we go. There you go. What a top 4. Tell you what, it's very tight between all 4 of them. Because I thought Raphael had, no, that's Regan. I thought Raphael had 4th. I thought Regan had 3rd. And then I thought it was between Nathan and Samson, but it shows I was completely wrong. Because Nathan ended up getting 4th. Regan was 3rd. Raphael was 2nd. And Samson won. So, yeah. But, yeah, the shape on Samson's just, it's so pleasing. I mean, Regan's got a nice shape, but he needs a bit more chest and arms. But then, like I said, now he's qualified by winning the Egypt KO Squad Pro. He can shut it down now for next year. So, and we'll see, hopefully we'll see, if Raphael qualifies by winning Romania or gets enough points, we'll see all 4 of these guys with 13 months worth of progress until, like I said, we might not see them until the Olympia next year. Although, no, actually Nathan said he was doing the Arnold and said now he wants to just concentrate on the Olympia. But, you know, these athletes change their mind all the time. So, okay, get off this step. Right. Yep. Right, okay. Yes. So, right, okay, let's go to our next hot news. Is our good friend Milos Sarcev, the Mind. Right, I don't know why I brought this up, actually. What did I bring this up for? I sometimes do that, and I forget why I bring them up. Look at Rami there. Was that Rami guest posing at the KO Squad? Yeah. Look at that. What a freak. 2-time Mr. Olympia. Still in very good condition. Look at the... Oh, his glutes are crazy, aren't they?
Huge.
His legs look harder there than when he won the Olympia. Anyway, Rami gets enough publicity. So, here we are. This is Samson's routine. This will be good. Look, I'm not going to put the music on, but look at that. Look at the proportions. Wow. Like his little flick he does there. There you go. He's good, isn't he? I think his posing's getting better and better every single... And plus, he's getting more confident. He's getting more stage confidence. He's getting more stage experience. And that does count for a lot.
Yes.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
So much,
It does. It really does. Look at that. Beautiful shape. Tell you what, if you took 2018 Sean Roden, when he won the Olympia, with 1993 Arnold Classic, Flex Wheeler, you know, Samson's in that mould. He's in that mould. If he's not there now, he's going to be very, very soon. But, and I just love to see pros putting some freaking effort into their posing. Because I tell you what, I mean, you get guys like Nick Walker, who just come out and literally just hit the compulsories. And I know he's very good in the prejudging. He holds his pose and stuff like that. But I want to see a freaking posing routine. I started following the sport in 1990. You know, and you watch those early 90s Olympiad videos. Go watch them on YouTube. 91 Olympia, 92, 93, 94, all the 90s. Go watch the posing routines, even the ones from the 80s, the one in LA in 1988. I mean, God, the posing routines. So anything from the 80s and 90s, Olympias or Arnold's, watch them because like all the posing routines were like this. And it's, why not give yourself the best chance of success? Why not shine? Why not show your physique at its best? And just put some effort into it. And if you can't put a posing routine together yourself, go get a good posing coach. Go get someone to help you. Samson does posing coaching. Does it online. I just do that. Get someone, yeah. And I'm sure he had some help from Milos.
Yeah, for sure.
This is Milos watching the show. Yeah, look. So it's funny. Samson said to me, he said sometimes Milos will be messaging him, obviously with a time difference. And he said Samson will say to Milos, don't you sleep? He said it's like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And then he's watching the live stream and he's messaging him what he should do and and giving him feedback. I mean, yeah, I love Milos. He's cool. So cool. There he is in 1994. Do you know why? Because I recognize the lighting. There you go. 94, Mr. Olympia prejudging. See, that's the one he said he was in his best condition ever, and he placed 13th. Porter Cottrell was 5th place in this one. And then on the Grand Prix tour, he said he wasn't quite as hard, and he beat Porter Cottrell. And then, well, you've heard the story anyway in earlier this episode. So, right, okay, I'm going to go on to the next one now. I'm going to pick up the pace. Holy shit. Right, okay, EVLS Prague Pro, the show last weekend. I just want to have a quick look, basically. So there you go. Yeah, it's a beautiful shot of Samson. That front. Oh, he's giving a bit of a pouty there. Giving an old blue steel. Blowing me kisses. Stop it, Samson. Yeah, Ahmed Ashkenani there, the 212 winner. I did think Ole Kriviad won that, though. But to tell you what Ahmed did between the judging and the night show was nothing short of a miracle because the improvements were drastic. I mean, at the judging, Ole Kriviad had him clearly. Everyone, every single person that I've spoke to had him winning. So I don't know who this guy is. Is that Kovac? Is that the 212? I don't know. Or is that Classic guy? Okay, that's the figure winner. Is that bikini?
Bikini, Alison Testu.
That's very muscular for bikini.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's good. I think that's the look they should have in bikini. I don't like it when they go too thin or they're coming in with squishy legs. So also, I want to give a big shout out to Fouad Abiad and Melissa Valliere, Ian Valliere's lady, sister of Chris Bumstead. I was watching the live stream pretty much all day last Saturday, and they did a great job. So pressure's on for us now. So we've got to do a better job or as good a job as these guys. But they were really good, really entertaining. They really kept it moving. Even when the show where there was no one on stage, they were keeping the dialogue going. Very interesting, very funny, very fair to the competitors. And yeah, so I want to acknowledge that. And I hope they don't diss me when they watch mine on the weekend. Right, okay. Prague. Yeah, so there we go. That was the top 6. Samson Dauda, Regan Grimes. Oh, that's it. Stopped. Okay, well, that's it. It was a quick video. 10 seconds. Right, okay. So anyway, that was last week. So, yeah, fantastic. Okay, go next one. Samson Dauda, the Nigerian Lion. Just got his first pro win. Turned pro at the end of 2017 at the Diamond Cup. He just placed third at the British Finals. Then he went and got his pro card at the Diamond Cup. His pro debut, I'm sure his pro debut was at the EVLS Prague in 2018, where he made top 5, which is incredible. So he really hit the ground running. And yeah, if you followed Samson's career, you know, you can't help but root for the guy. What he went through last year, you know, the tenacity, the energy, the positivity, and just that, you can't help, it's so infectious, his enthusiasm and his genuine humility and his just hunger for success. You know, this guy he's such a unique athlete. Here we are, before and after. 2009, 2021. Wow. I don't see any difference. Do you see any difference? Looks exactly the same to me. No?
Play it again? Oh my god.
Laura, come on, wake up. Wake up, woman. So yeah, look at that. He can still, yeah, fantastic. Well, he's won his first pro show now, and he's now going through to the 2022 Olympia. So what can you say, really? There, I love this shot, the one of him next to Raphael. Look at that. Tell you what, that's an impressive top 2. So, you know, they both beat Regan Grimes and Nathan D'Asha. Huge, and Ruli Winkler. I know Ruli wasn't his best, but they still beat him. But yeah, they must be very happy, and I'm very excited to see these two going head to head again this weekend at the Romania Muscle Fest. Be sure to get your live stream. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I wanted to show there. Next one is IFBB Pro Spain, because they posted a very cool video today. Are we allowed to put? No, can't put the music on. Can we? Why does it not show up? Why does it not flag up on Instagram then when they post it?
It does.
Does it? Yeah. It did do it on mine when I reposted it.
It depends on if you've got a certain account.
Okay, now this is the seminar we're doing with Ashley Coltwasser, because obviously this weekend we are meeting and greeting her in Romania. She's coming back to the UK with us to do a tour. Then we're going to Spain, and she's gonna bookend the tour with an appearance at the Romania Muscle Fest, competing in the bikini. After the tour, I'm going to do some shoots and everything in Spain, and then she's going to finish the tour with it's all about me. She's going to finish the tour at the Big Man show in Alicante, the same venue where they had the Alicante NPC European Pro, incredible venue. And yes, so we're going to be doing a seminar on the 24th at the IFBB Pro Spain headquarters and Pro Nutrition, followed by free seminar for posing and judges criteria of bikini and wellness by IFBB Pro judge Sabina Dauda. I hope I've said that right. So yeah, November 24th, 5:30 to 7:30. Ladies, get your tickets. Come and see Ashley. She's been amazing, Ashley. She's got such a huge personality. She's got great energy, and you cannot miss out on your opportunity to speak to her face to face for a couple of hours, have your photo with her, get a signed poster, and see really she's won 29 pro shows, and she is going for, she's actually going for this one. She's going for Alicante, and then on the way back she's going to be doing Toronto. So if she gets the 3 wins, she's going to have 32 pro wins by the end of 2021. So, you know, I mean, she's won 3 Olympias. 3 Olympias. I mean, my God. Took a year or 2 off, came back, took 3rd place at the Olympia, and she just keeps on going. I mean, I think the more she competes, the better she gets, and I think the more she loves it. So anyway, right, okay then. Yep, that was it on that one. So, and also next we're going to bring up Brooke Walker. I can't call her Walker Brooke because that's her Instagram. Brooke Walker, we just had in this episode. Fantastic result at the Olympia. I mean, like I said, I was pegging her as top 5, but kind of not this year. I thought maybe it would happen by next year, but she didn't just get top 5, she got top 3. I mean, look at that. Look at the shape. Beautiful shape. I think with some more and further improvements, I think she could win the Olympia next year. I really do. I think she's perfect women's physique, really, what the criteria wants. Like she said, she thinks she needs a bit of thicker back, doesn't she?
Very pretty as well.
Yeah, she looks good. She's not drawn in the face, but the condition's good. I mean, that's always the battle with the women's physique. They try to get the condition, but kind of, you know, keep the femininity and not get the drawn, sucked-in cheeks, you know, because it's not a healthy feminine look, really. So it's not, I mean, it doesn't even look good on the guys. I think it looks cool on the guys, actually. I think it does look cool on the guys. Yeah, she needs a bit more back, doesn't she? Back and glutes. The hamstrings and calves are good. But, yeah, but she's got full 13 months now. So, yeah. there she is, guest posing. Brooke. Yeah. I've not seen her posing routine yet, actually. I need to go and watch it. So, oh, that was Halloween, wasn't it? That's a cool outfit. Oh, cool. I like creative photo shoots. It's always good to see. Costume by Rachel Carter. Salon. Who did the photo shoot? Oh, Julia Gayler. She is amazing. If you're in the Arkansas area and looking for a photographer, she is it. Fantastic. Happy Halloween. Cool. Right. Okay, then. I'm going to go on to our next. So fantastic. Top 3 at the Olympia. I mean, what a sensational year. And as you saw in the interview early in this episode, she's buzzing. So, okay, next one is Lauren. Start over there. Don't cringe. Lauren won her show on the weekend. How do you feel?
Good.
Come on, speak up, woman. Come on, this is your time. It's your time on Globe Muscle to big yourself up. Yeah, so you did a two-bro show last weekend and you won and you look absolutely fantastic, dear. So I taught her everything I know and she does the opposite. So yeah, nice medal. I showed it to my dad. Showed it to my dad on the video chat the other day. He was very excited about it. Lovely shape. Yeah, good. You doing any more? No. What are you laughing at? Are you doing any more shows? Maybe. Oh, maybe. You've done a few this year. Done a few. There you go. I don't know who that lady is in the mask.
That's Ray Ray.
Is that Ray Ray? Oh, that's Ray Ray. You mentioned it before. So she's the one who did your makeup?
Yes.
Looks good. Looks nice. Very nice. Who's that?
That's Holly.
I don't know Holly. Who's she? Oh, who's that?
That's Danka. She'll be competing in Romania in the amateur division.
Oh, yeah, I've heard you mention her as well. Oh, you look nice earrings. Nice black bikini. Looks very, very nice.
She's
Looks...
helping me with the Romania locator forms.
Oh, Romania locator forms. Oh my God, what a ball ache that is. Yeah, so, oh, lovely bikini there. Give them a shout out. Who's the bikini by?
Bikini Mama.
Bikini Mama. Yay. Right, okay, then all the bodybuilding fans are switching off now. They're bored of me. I don't care. Oh, it's a lovely shot. Look at that. And host of Buff Bombshell. Obviously, there's 46 episodes in now on MD.
Yeah, loads.
You've been going a year now, full year.
Wow.
Fantastic. Well, doing great, Lauren. Keep going. And also, she's the one who designs all these thumbnails you see for Global. And she's obviously the one pushing the buttons now. Sat listening to me waffle on. And yeah, very, very good. I don't know who that handsome chap is, but who is he? Yeah, I had to put a black and white one on there because the light made me look all pink. So, is this one? Show a bit more. Boom. Oh, bit racy, that one. What was that? You're practicing your posing, weren't you?
Yeah.
Right, okay then. Okay, so we'll go on to our next one. Very good, Lauren. Fantastic. Getting a good result like that. It really helps. It does help everything we're doing as well. Adds credibility because, you know, I've competed. You're competing and you're doing great. And pro card maybe very, very soon, hopefully. Right, okay. The next hot news is Flex Wheeler. Now, Flex Wheeler has been in hospital very, very ill. He caught it at the Arnold UK with COVID. And he's been, well, as you can see, he's been in the hospital. He's been very, very sick. Yeah, but he's out now. This is the video he posted today. But yeah, so he's out, and I think he's, because obviously he's reeling from the news now, obviously with the Sean Roder news and everything else that's gone on. You know, it's been a very, very intense week for the industry. And if you've noticed, this week's Global is out on a Friday or not on a Wednesday. I just couldn't film on the Monday. I just on the Sunday or the Monday I just could not film. Because it just completely knocked the wind out of my sails, as it did everyone. You know, the guys that were competing on stage at the Prague show on the Saturday or Sunday, was it Sunday? Yeah, on the weekend. Well, when the news came through, you know, they would have been hearing that literally as they were walking off stage. So it's been a very, very intense week. That's all I can say. That's the only words I can find to describe this. So Flex is, I'm sure he's going into all that as well. So, you know, Flex has been through it, man. He lost his leg. He's his bottom half of his leg, and he's now got a prosthetic. And he said he's suffered a lot from depression and stuff like that over the years. I've spoke to him. I had him on Globe Muscle back in season 2, and he's a very open, very heart on his sleeve. He's not afraid to sort of say, you know, really open up. You know, and I really appreciate that when you're speaking to someone like that in an interview. You know, he's very giving. So it's fantastic to see Flex Wheeler. He's on the mend, and you know, one of our industry's legends, 4-time Arnold Classic champion, runner-up at the Olympia, you know, arguably one of the top 10 best physiques of all time. You know, go look at the 93, the 98 Arnold Classic wins. I mean, that's about as close to perfection as you can get, really. You know, if you want aesthetics and the beauty of the physique, you know. So, okay, I'm going to blow my nose. Okay, next one is Sean Roden. Yeah, Sean Roden.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, isn't it? Heartbreaking. I still find it hard to kind of believe, really. He was 46. I don't know what to say. I don't really know what to say.
Too young.
46 years old, Mr. Olympia 2018. Had a lot of, obviously, like legal issues the last couple of years, which prevented him from being able to compete. And yeah, I can't imagine that was easy. And I mean, maybe stress. I don't know. Maybe stress played a part in all of this. I don't know. I can't imagine it wouldn't. But he never stopped being positive. He never stopped training, and kind of, and he didn't. There was no rants on social media. He conducted himself with real class throughout. From when, you know, the accusation was thrown at him, you know, and I mean, imagine being a Mr. Olympia, not being able to compete, and it's just a really sad story. And I love Sean. I really love Sean. Remember when he said he would only do interviews with me and Dave Belay, because I think he'd just been, what can he say? Yeah, he leaves behind his beautiful daughter as well. So he's really good. I remember when I saw him when he won his first pro wins at the 2012 Dallas. I was out there, and he beat Hidetada, Tony Freeman, Ruli Winkler, and that was the year he really, because in 2011 he came 11th at Olympia, and then in 2012 he won this one here. Is that the Tampa, Dallas, and then he went on and he rose to third place at the Olympia, ended up coming second, and then he really was a force for many, many years. And eventually in 2018 dethroned the 7-time Mr. Olympia Phil Heath to win the 2018 Olympia, and it was just, I was there. It was incredible, and he was a wonderful man. I'm gonna miss him. Really, I'm gonna miss him. So my heart goes out to his friends, his family, and yeah, I just I don't know even what we can take from this. Really, it's just awful, you know. So. Yeah, love you, Sean. Right, okay, then our final news item is, unfortunately, there's more bad news that came in today. We have, I think I've actually on the wrong Instagram account. Okay, let me find it. This is important. Actually, I'll bring up MDs. Okay, I'll bring up, there we go. Yeah, we had another death today. It literally came in the last couple of hours when this was being filmed. Victor Richards, the freak from the 90s, 56 years old, has passed away. We've got no details as of yet of how it happened or why it happened, but he's no longer with us. So, yeah, so 1980s. Yeah, 90s. Yeah, it was very famous because he turned pro, but he never actually competed as a pro. And I remember there was a bit of controversy, well, not controversy, but he guest posed at FIBO next to Dorian, and kind of, you know, looked very good next to Dorian, Dillette. They were all off season, all posing, and just, I mean, he was just a monster. And there was crazy stories about how he ate 30,000 calories a day, and he'd eat a bathtub of rice, and I mean, it's all kind of, you know, yeah, he did. Yeah. He was a monster. He was absolutely, he was like a freak of nature. And I've heard people say, like, you know, you've got to be stood next to him. You like photos and videos, you couldn't fully grasp just how big this guy was. So I know Zach Khan used to speak to him a lot. I messaged Zach today and I let him know, and he said, yeah, he knew. So yeah, so we've lost another one, you know, following on the deaths of John Meadows and George Peterson. You know, the industry's taken a lot of hits well, not just this year, but just the last few weeks. It's been very, very intense. Sometimes it's hard to process one, and by the time you've even started to process one, another one happens. So I don't know what's going on, but all I know is it's awful. So yeah, so what can I say, really? It's just gotta live your life as best you can, be as kind as you can to people, be as nice as you can to people, and just and follow whatever your heart tells you to do, I suppose. I mean, I'm not trying to be anything, but I don't know what to say, really. It's just very sad. Very sad. Right, okay, and also we're going to end this episode with some footage I took. It was some phone footage I took of Sean Roden from the 2018 Olympia, because I was at the morning seminar the next morning, and I've got some stage footage of when he did his winning speech, when he became number 14, the 14th Mr. Olympia. And yeah, so let's just remember how he lived, not how he died. So, and really focus on, you know, what an amazing athlete he was and what he managed to achieve by becoming one of only, well, now 16 men to become the #1 bodybuilder in the world, and that is Mr. Olympia. Right, okay, guys, we are going to go. There's no episode next week because we're taking a week's break, and myself and Lauren, we are going to be in Romania, and then we're going on tour with Ashley. So yeah, and also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can get all the MD Global Muscle updates ASAP, and you can listen to my wonderful voice and hear my opinions and listen to all these wonderful athletes and all these incredible people that we have access to on this show. So once again, guys, I would like to thank you all for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching and subscribing. And what do I say at the end? I forgot what I said. No, I said, what did I say? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we are out.
Phil here with this nice sand out next to him, and you know, you had to give a concession speech. So now you find yourself on the other side. Give me your emotions last night as the big call was coming. You and Phil standing center stage, and the big announcement coming, which of course I dragged out as long as humanly possible. What were your thoughts as you were standing there waiting for the announcement show?
Well, first of all, thank you guys for coming out to show support this morning to all these amazing athletes. We are a brotherhood. We travel together. Spend a lot of time on the road, just us, promoting and being ambassadors to the sport. I must say, last night I haven't slumped in it yet. I'm waiting for that big kick. But it's a great feeling. I've been on the stage with Phil since 2011, and I've seen what he brings every single show. And it's just great, you know, with all these amazing guys out there, and the best of the best competing for #1. I made a statement this year saying, if you're training to be #1, you should not be here. We all put 110% in for every single show. So it's good to show up in the best possible shape against the best possible athlete and give it all you got and leave everything there. So wait for it to kick in.
Well, it kicked in at some point because when I said the words "and new," you literally couldn't hear the rest of your name being said or anything. The crowd went absolutely crazy. It's probably the loudest ovation I've heard since JB Roddick. That was probably one of the loudest ones. This was right there with it. Crowd went crazy, and what was going through your mind at that minute?
You know, getting ready for the Olympia last year, I had a broken jaw. Ate to a straw for 12 weeks, blending chicken, steak, salmon, potatoes, you name it. Still ended up losing 36 pounds to start my prep off. Didn't have an off season because I couldn't lift because my jaw was wired shut. And I gave it everything I got. And, you know, came in and I took fifth. For me, to be honest, that was probably the hardest prep I've ever done. And for me, that was my Olympia.